And just to hand you over to Victor, my colleague who is on the other side of the studio, to delve deeper on this particular encounter in Uganda now that we have them back at home. Victor, over to you.
All right, thank you, Debal. Now, Debal and the rest of Kenya, as you know, we're joined by two gentlemen who have had what we might call, conservatively, a very difficult time over the last few weeks. Nicholas Oyo and, of course, Bob Njagi are here with us. Karibuni, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing right now? How are you feeling to be back home?
Yeah, it's a feeling of joy, elated. Yeah, we feel good. We thank Kenyans for having fought for us. It was you guys who made the noise. That's why we are here.
Karibuni sana, once again.
Yeah.
Bob, take us through the reasoning behind going to Uganda. Simply put, why did you go to Uganda?
We went to Uganda basically on a fact-finding mission. We have interest, both commercial interest. We have also social interest, people whom we relate with as families. And politically as well, we have alliances which we have built both in the East African region. We were there for the launch of the manifesto for Robert Chagulanyi, which was being done at Jinja town. So we happened to travel from Nairobi to Uganda. We stopped over in Jinja for the night, and on the 30th we attended a public rally that he was launching the manifesto. Our participation was basically purely just to show solidarity with the National Unity Party, who are a sister movement to the Free Kenya movement. We have shared ideologies such as the people power,
right.
Whereby their slogan is actually people power, our power, whereas in the Free Kenya movement we say people power, higher power.
I see.
This is emanating from the fact that we want sovereignty of the people to be at the forefront of leadership and governance. Our alliance, our being there in Uganda was not to plan any protest or to try and create any chaos within Uganda. We conformed with all the laws of Uganda.
Right, right.
We were duly cleared at the immigration,
right,
and given visas for 6 months.
Right.
So therefore,
there was no indication whatsoever that there was going to be any trouble?
No, we were welcomed into the country.
Nicholas, on this point that Bob is making, then what was the first sign that all is not well? Because by your admission, you came in through the border, no problem whatsoever, no one restricted you. You're given a proper visa and you came in, welcome, open hands. What was the first sign that all is not well?
There was no first sign. It was just an abduction.
Wow.
In fact, it was a shock for us because we were waiting for some of our comrades to support us with some tires because the vehicle had some issues. We had parked it at the Starbucks.
That's a petrol station.
Yeah, that petrol station is
where? Which town?
You know, it belongs to the president.
That's so.
To the president, to the Republic of Kenya. So this
what
is
area
Muguna.
was this?
Is it Mugu? Mugu?
Matuga
town.
Right.
Now, when we got there, we took some time and started to organize ourselves because we wanted to go back to Kenya, but we had a few issues we wanted to do before we get back to Kenya. So suddenly we just found a vehicle came, people had come and they were talking to Bob, and I thought that it was a matter of the same issue we were dealing with. Then when I got there, it was now police, and suddenly they call them drones, came in, and I think 5 or 6 or 7, 8, 9 people with very short and long and short guns.
You're surrounded?
Yeah.
What time of the day was this?
This was about 12, something like that.
In the afternoon or in the night?
In the afternoon.
So in broad daylight, people come?
Broad daylight.
Did you clock on, Bob? Did you immediately understand what was happening? That these guys are actually here not to help us, but to abduct us as it was happening?
Yeah, this is the second time I've been abducted for a long period. The strategy, the same way they used to track us on with phones here, is what they did. By the time we're being arrested, or rather abducted, I could tell that everything is not right. Because the officers were all dressed in military uniform, very heavily armed, armed to the teeth. I had already have read about reports of people disappearing in Uganda. For example, even the former opposition leader, Kiza Besigye, was abducted here in Kenya and handed over to the Ugandan military. So when this happened, I knew that we cannot fight them because we're not armed, or we're not in our country for that matter, so let's go with the flow. And these men asked us to come with them. We didn't know where we've been taken. They did not say, we are taking you to a police station, ABCD, for this crime, no. So we were driven from that point in silence, in total silence, until sometime we got to the destination.
How long did this take?
That took close to an hour.
And what was their manner like as they were handling you?
They were very rough.
They're very rough. In fact, for me, you know, I had realized that these phones are some of the things they'll want very quickly. Immediately they were calling for the phones. I thought I should throw my phone out because I thought that could help us. Somebody could pick it and somebody could call, that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, these vehicles have a very small window. So it was on the side of that, of the other person where they had put me. So now they started roughing me up thinking that I have another phone that I did not give them because I wanted to get that phone out. But then, of course, that now started the wrath for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as this is happening, the hour-long ride, cold silence with these strangers roughing you up, what's going through your mind? Nicholas, what's going through your mind at this point?
For me, I thought that it's probably not a really big issue because I'm thinking it's an immigration issue and it's probably something that will just end in a bit. You think that maybe this is taking us back to the border and telling us that is your country, go there. So I'm like, okay, this might be 2-3 days and then we are back.
You're sorted.
You get into that place, you count day 4, you count day 5, you count day 6, now this is a problem.
Wow. First of all, and Bob, take me through this place that you get into. When you arrive at that place, what does it look like? What does it smell like? What do you feel when you get there? This place that was the destination after the hour-long ride from the petrol station.
When we arrived there, we were blindfolded, so we were not allowed to see how the place looks like.
But what were your senses telling you?
My senses were telling me that we have entered a sort of a military base.
Really?
Yes. Because I saw, before they blindfolded us, I saw the name of the place. It's called Sera Kasenyi Military Training Camp. There's a signboard outside the gate, like a few meters, like 50, 100 meters. So before they blindfolded us, I'd already seen this signpost. So by the time we were getting into the cells, and they're removing the blindfolds, I knew we were in a military camp. The men were dressed in military uniform, UPDF. That's Uganda Patriotic Defense Forces. And on the back of the T-shirt was the SFC, Special Forces Command. This is an elite command squad specifically trained to protect the first family. It's a security...
Presidential Guard.
Presidential Guards, yes.
Guard, yeah.
So when you see this and it clocks in your mind, what thoughts go through your mind?
Yeah, it is amazing that you find yourself in that kind of a place. You know, this place is a training camp.
Right.
There's a lot of noise coming from the guns that they're training and the bullets and the RPGs firing and those exercises they do. So you're like, oh my God, now where are we here? And you know, you can't talk to anyone. There's no communication. There's nothing you're being told. Yeah, it is really scary.
Where do they keep you?
Those were cells that I would say that they were houses for the soldiers, the way they had been constructed before. But then now we are the people who were brought into those cells. There are like 3 of them. We found Nigerians already inside those cells.
Really? There were other people in the cells?
How
many would you estimate?
Nigerian. There were 3 there, but I think Bob has a better figure. I think where he was, he could...
Oh, you were separated?
We are separated.
Wow. Bob, who are you hearing in that space? Is it light? Is there some light in that room?
No, there is no
Describe
power.
to us the room, please.
The room is a cell measuring the size of 10 feet by 10 feet and 10 feet high, like a square cell. It has no window panes. just the grills, both on the window and on the door. So it is facing the Lake Victoria. You can see only water in front of you, nothing else. And a lot of mosquito coming in at night because from the water. There's no power, and you only get open for once a day. That's in the morning, when you have to carry the waste bucket into the pit latrine, pour it out, and bring it back. Of course, we were handcuffed throughout these 38 days. You can see the marks here. And the handcuffs were really squeezed tight, so you cannot move yourself that much. You eat with the handcuffs, you sleep with them. We had only 3 meals a day, but I could only take 1 meal. I decided to fast myself to pray throughout this situation. We had porridge in the morning, porridge without sugar. And you have posho. What they call posho is like ugali with beans for breakfast and supper. Whether you have, any kind of problem.
Doesn't matter, not their problem.
Only 1 glass of water a day. That was that's what we were fed with for the 38 days.
38 days?
Yes.
And in these conditions, at night, there's mosquitoes coming in. Do you have blankets or sheets to cover you?
At first, we did not have any.
Really?
But later we did call the sergeant. He's called Sergeant Bareche. Sergeant Bareche, and we told him that we cannot continue to eat food if we don't get the mosquito nets. We were starting a hunger strike. And sooner or later we got the mosquito nets, which we could use now to cover. But we don't have a mattress, it's a mat, like the gym mats.
Right,
Small.
Very thin.
That's
Very
what
thin.
we use now.
In fact, you sleep in it and you find in about 40 minutes you need to turn.
It's
because
that hard.
What you are used to, yeah.
Nicholas, day 1, day 2, day 3, you think it's merely an immigration issue. At what point do you, if at all, begin to give up hope of a quick, return back home? And what's going through your mind right there? 38 days.
I get there and I find a Nigerian there. He's been there for a while, I think 4 days by that time. But they came there, I think, a day before. So I realize this kind of thing, and these are people brought on fraud charges.
Really?
So fraud and military, how do they go? That's when it rings a bell that now this is not really something small. They look like they are trying to do something that doesn't make sense. So the kind of questions they're asking us are questions that tell you that it's probably going to be a long while.
Were you interrogated in this period, and what were they asking you, Nicholas?
They were asking issues about our involvement, Gen Z issues, this kind of stuff. So it's like they're trying to relate us to something that we are going to bring some issues in Uganda. So me, I tell them that this is the safest time. In fact, if I was advising you, go and sleep and wait for the elections, because everybody is concentrating on getting votes. Everybody is out there looking for votes. Why would you think that we would bring the Gen Zs at this time if we were planning that, for instance? I mean, that would not be strategically right.
Now, gentlemen, in the 38 days that you were detained, certain big things happened across the world, including in this country. Did you know about some of the things that were happening? For example, the death of Honorable Raila Odinga, Bob.
It's very unfortunate because the former Prime Minister was a personal friend. He's a mentor. I've served in his party for about 10 years as the Deputy Director of Elections for ODM at the NEC until I resigned in 2021 to form this movement. It's, we got the news when we were still there at the barracks through some of the inmates. We have also military men who are serving time there. So some of them could give us some information. Do you know this is happening? It's quite unfortunate we're not there to be present during the funeral.
You heard it as second-hand news?
Yes.
In fact, you had to confirm from several of them. Former Prime Minister is also
actually related to the family.
Is that so?
He's actually a relative from my mother's side, and it was very unfortunate.
So this was personal?
Yeah, and in fact, reached a time that when we were in a place that guy comes and tells me, so you want to go and bury Raila? I already know that he has been buried, but since he's playing this game, I agree and say, yeah, I would love to go, because somebody had already whispered to me that he was buried in 3 days. So this is a week after. Yeah, so they're playing mind games with us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, gentlemen, 38 days in detention. Was there hope of coming back? What was this hope coming from? And while you were detained, all of us back here at home, we were getting different bits of information. The Ugandan government denied your presence in that country, and we were also hearing that there was an intervention by some senior politicians from this side, namely the former President Uhuru Kenyatta, who actually, intervened in this case. Were you aware of such things, and is there any such truth in this?
We were aware that Kenyans were making concerted efforts. We got information about the habeas corpus that demanded we be produced in court, dead or alive. There was a television set that the inmates would use in one of the cell blocks. And when this news airs on TV, some information will get there. But we could not respond to those people who were fighting or clamoring to get us out. I want to appreciate, first and foremost, the young people of Kenya, the Gen Zs, who took to Twitter, TikTok to call for the release of Kenyans, the bloggers, the human rights organizations, media especially, and to the leaders who also made diplomatic efforts, including Uhuru Kenyatta, who I'm told made a call to Muhoozi. This would have helped in one way or another, and we appreciate any support that came through.
And especially our families also, because they came into the center of this. Because when this thing initially happened, it starts personally to the family first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you belong to the nation, but first to your families.
Yeah.
As we close, and I know you gentlemen are really busy trying to reconnect with family and everything, could you talk us through, starting with you, Nicholas, the sensation of being back, not just back home, but back to your families and back to your own country after 38 days that, for all intents and purposes, were hopeless?
This is amazing. This is really amazing. I had looked at this country and feeling like it will take a long time before I walk on these streets. I can walk and enjoy the kind of air in this country and the kind of freedom we have here. I felt like it might be something that will take a long time before that happens. So when we landed back to Busia and managed to actually get ourselves out of that to Kisumu, that's when I felt now, wow, we are home.
All right.
We are home.
Gentlemen, one last question. 2 times in 2 different countries, you have experienced abduction and detention. How do you feel walking around? Do you look over your shoulder? Are you afraid? Are you worried for your lives now, Bob?
It is him, yeah.
I think, truly speaking, we are not secure. Even as we speak, moving out like from a studio here, we don't know what will happen next. But by the grace of God, we have been safe. I just want to use this platform and opportunity to call to the Ugandan government, especially President Museveni, to unplug the fridge. Many people are suffering in the fridge. We have Ugandan nationals. One of them is a brother to the internal security minister, who was also abducted.
Really?
He was my bedmate. He's called Mr. Amos Rogomano. We have Moses Kasiba, who is also a senior citizen in Uganda. He's been there for 4 months now. We have Nigerians who are still in custody. So we'd want to reach out to the Ugandan government to stop the abductions and free all these political prisoners, especially people like Kiza Besigye. There's no point of holding up people in cells without giving them their rights.
All right.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And once again, the sentiments of the nation are behind you. Poleni sana for your experience, and certainly happy to have you back.
Thank you for hosting.
Over to you, Debal. Thank you.